Before you continue watching this video, if you haven't already, please subscribe below. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I think we can do it. Just subscribe, please. Now, continue watching this video.
I'm a disgruntled Eagles fan, and we're awesome.
A depleted Eagles team got demolished by one of the best teams in the league, the New Orleans Saints. And I made the prediction of this blowout in the preview game, and I'm going to tell you why I made that prediction in this video. But before I get to that, I just want to say one quick thing before I get to that. As an Eagles fan, I see things before other people do. Meaning that Eagle fans are the first ones to state whether the team's doing bad and are awful, or great and are the best team in the league. Eagle fans are the first ones to state that, and I just want to make that clear because I just want to make any unsolved things clear. I don't want to make myself sound angry right there, but I just want to say that Eagle fans are the first ones to state that. Now, I may be harsh at sometimes, but I'm just really pissed off of how the Eagles are playing this year. Even though it is a Super Bowl hangover, they shouldn't be playing this bad. Now, let's get back to this game. I called a blowout in the very beginning because of these reasons. Our top cornerbacks are out. Even our top cornerbacks are trash, or not as good. But our starting cornerbacks are better than the rookies and second-year guys, as in Rasul Douglas, Advant Maddox, and other cornerbacks that we have. Our starting cornerbacks are better than those guys and play better than them. I was predicting that Drew Brees would exploit that easily because he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He would have exploited Jalen Mills and the other guys like Darby, the same way that he exploited the new guys, but it wouldn't have been as big as a blowout, and it might have been a game. Another reason why I predicted this blowout is because the offense cannot score. They've scored more than 24 points only once this season. I blame the offense more than I blame the defense. Now, don't get me wrong. I blame the defense a crap ton, but I don't blame the defense as much as I blame the offense. The offense hasn't been producing as it should be. It has a crap ton of potential to score a crap ton of points, but the reason why they're not scoring a crap ton of points is because Doug Peterson and the coaching. Mike Groh, our offensive coordinator, is not as good as our coordinator from last year, as in Frank Reich. That is another reason why we're not scoring as many points as we did last year, as in this year. Mike Groh is not that good of an offensive coordinator, and he's not carrying us to produce a lot of points through these games that are much needed. We're only averaging 22 points. It's probably less from this game, but we've been only producing 22 points a game, and that's extremely low in this league. We need to be producing in the higher 20s to early 30. We cannot be scoring as little points as we are. We have a crap ton of potential to score a crap ton of points, as in Wentz, Golden Tate, Alshon Jeffrey. We have a decent line. We just have terrible coaching calls that have been disrupting that potential crap ton, and it's getting me infuriating because all that potential is right there and it's not being utilized. Another reason why I saw this coming is because the injuries have plagued us throughout this season, and it hit us this game a crap ton. I know that the injuries hit us last year, but next man up mentality saved us last year. And injuries that we had last year, we could easily have that next man up mentality, and we were able to replace those guys who got hurt. Carson Wentz, we replaced with Nick Foles. Darren Sproles, we replaced with Ajayi. And we had good supporting cast around each player that we lost. That was huge. Jason Peters last year was hurt and was out for the season. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a Hall of Famer, but he hasn't been playing high as he should be the last couple of years, so he was easy to replace. Jordan Hicks, we replaced with Brado. He was an excellent linebacker. But this year, we have way more injuries. It is nearly impossible to sustain that next man mentality with this many injuries because of how the league is developed. This year, we're losing a lot of players that we cannot replace, like the cornerback position. We cannot replace that cornerback position at all. None of our cornerbacks got hurt last year, but all of our cornerbacks got hurt this year. I know that Darby got hurt last year, but he came back during the season. But basically, all of our cornerbacks are hurt. Mills, Darby, Max is on week-to-week basis. Rasul Douglas, I'm probably hurt. All of our cornerbacks are hurt, and we cannot replace them. Our defensive line, last year, It didn't get hurt, but this year it did, with Burnett out for the season. Jamie Jernigan still recovering from the injury and not back yet. And Brandon Graham still dealing with that injury that he had during the offseason and is not 100% recovered. It's all these injuries that have been compiling that Drew Brees could easily access. Our offensive line was not banged up last year, and that's how we won the Super Bowl. This year, our offensive line is banged up a crap ton. Jason Kelce is on a day-to-day basis. Jason Peters is old and dilapidated. And our offensive line is just straight up not healthy altogether. And without an offensive line, Carson Wentz and the offense cannot move the ball down the field, which is another struggle. That's why we can't move the ball as much as we were last year. And plus, Alshon Jeffrey is still looming with that injury. It doesn't look like it, so that's not really an excuse. So it's basically the injuries that have been compiling, and we cannot replace those injuries with that next man up mentality. And Jim Schwartz, don't get me wrong, he is an awesome defensive coordinator, but he's just playing the wrong calls. I blame the coaching first, then the offense, and then the defense. Now, don't get me wrong, they're all to blame for this season for being crap. But I blame the coaching and the coaching calls. I think that we need to fire Mike Groh after this season, and possibly Jim Schwartz. Because Mike Groh is not doing anything right. We're hurting because of the loss of DeFlippo and Frank Wright. And that has hurt us a lot. And the loss of Blunt. And that's why we're not doing as good. Plus the injuries and we not being able to replace those injuries. All in all, that is why I picked the Saints to blow out the Eagles. I have some logic behind what I say, and I just don't say the Eagles suck constantly. But this year is just not our year, and we have to wait until next year to do anything. Next year will prove if this year was a fluke or last year was a fluke. I'm really hoping that this year was a fluke. This is the first time in a very long time, actually since Doug Peterson's first year, that I actually stopped watching the game. I stopped watching the game at halftime because it was that blown of a lead. The Eagles just suck this year, and I'm tired of it. That's all, and thanks for watching.